introduce a slight buff to Chamber where they increase his range from 15 meters, his teleport rendezvous range from 15 meters to 18 meters. So it's a slight bump, but that could give you the edge to get just slightly through certain walls. For example, I know some people like to put it towards that tree area in A and then like TP or like walk into a main and use it to get out. So it could be that they've cooked something up with the new changes that they have to Chamber. So I'm really interested to see what the Chamber is going to do, especially on this defender side of the map.
No, absolutely sure. And actually, something I'm interested to see as well is when we head towards Lotus, the Astra's up to 5 stars, right? That buff came through today. So Astra gets an additional star. You know, we saw a lot of Astra back before. Originally, when there was like all Astra dominance basically on Lotus. So curious to see if that's going to change anything or if these teams are going to stick to what has been working for the last little while. But right off the rip, Chris just blows him. Oh!
Oh my god! No, he misses the ace barely by a few centimeters. Souls manages to get that one to deny the flawless. But man, oh man, if this is how we're starting with that chamber, I am excited for the rest of this map.
Oh my god. My god. Buys 4 bullets for the chamber and gets 4 headshots. Instant vandal buy as well. Oh my goodness. Gen Z opening up. Okay, that is a statement to make immediately. And now it's like the instant you see the chamber, that's like engraved in your brain. 100 Dweebs
Yeah.
is now just avoid chamber at all costs.
Yeah, it's like playing against the, oh my god, and you can't avoid him. He will be everywhere. It's almost like he's playing Omen in this situation, but his teammate Jinfu will be right there to help him out. Also with a sniper, but this time with a Marshal, seeing the jump peek from Souls coming out of mid. Won't find anything but information. Double swing coming in from both. Will manage to do a lot of damage to Shinfu, but not get the kill. The flash, defensive maneuvers, try to get away. Chris Slayer absolutely causing damage with that online. Man, finds another one before I can finish my sentence. Flash comes in for Shinfu, tries to find the kill. Tron will not get it. Shinfu getting a double on this round to show that Chris Slayer isn't the only one who can get kills on his team. But another dominant round from the chamber, already with ult ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, that is online already. And it looks like it's going to get popped since he only has a sheriff in hand. So that is going to be, into the gun round. This is the bonus round for the side of Gen Z. Kind of weak overall. You have an outlaw, 2 stingers, and a vandal, and that ultimate as well. So it's going to be relying pretty heavily on Chris here, who will be on the other side of the map. So 100 Dweebs won't be anywhere near him here, but that is going to tick, 3 players, I think. You can see the instant rotation. Gen Z, both players on B immediately out. The outlaw here from Ethan, probably not going to be as effective here because all players are fully bought up with armor and whatnot, but you can see you're going to be forced backwards here. They're going to be clearing things out, but they will be delayed. That's going to be the smoke unless they go through it, but there's 4 players here, and they're going right through it.
All right, and they're going right through it. Finding Yogan with the first. Addison finds the trade. Shinfu gets another one. Tricks manages to find the trade onto Shinfu. Now left to a 3v3. Spike goes down, but is picked up by Tricks, planting in a little bit of an unorthodox spot. They will have to play for this side. They will have to contest it all the way through. That show hunter, or that headhunter, I'm sorry, coming in with some shots through the wall to try to find targets. Ferris, though, will find Tricks in that corner, putting in a 3v2 with this Omen on the 100 Reef side, being very low. Careful with Ferris, trying to look for another one, but the smoke, I think, from that teammate of Souls, managing to give him some cover, but Addison finds the interchange, and it's left all up to Tron here, but Chris Slayer finding impact in this round once again, giving Gen Z the 3rd on the map and putting them in a very comfortable spot. I'm surprised that the chamber wasn't able to find anything with that ultimate, but still at the end gave them the last kill that they needed for that round.
Yeah, I guess they didn't end up needing him in the end. I mean, the ultimate, not really found anything, and immediately buys an op to go with it. So immediately Chris is going to pop that out. 8-1 start in 3 rounds is crazy. You're going to see 100 Dweebs here. Will be on the eco. You're going to see 4 sheriffs and a stinger bot up here. Still able to buy into the next round. And they are going to head their way towards A. It is going to be the Jet as well as the KO on mid. So both these players are going to be set up, and you get the instant smoke outs from both sides here. Mid is going to get smoked. You're going to get the one-way here. And it looks like they just want to peek Ethan here. The drone comes out. Ethan immediately falls off this. Alt Orb is going to come in, so, you know, farm a couple of those. Ethan will actually, I think, get tagged. No, it did not get tagged here, but will get caught. There's the presence detected. Here comes the execution. Everyone's, you know, picked up there as the spam will fly right through. Everyone's on the site, and it's absolute chaos as expected. Ethan able to find 2 before going down with 3 kills. Answer back. Chris is able to find 1. Vandal's going to be picked up by Souls here, and that is going to be huge. You do need Souls to find something with this. It's going to go for the spam. Just so much damage to Chris. Chris is 1 bullet away. Still somehow alive here and actually finds another kill with it. So it's going to be a 2v1. You know, Chris on minimum HP is going to go down, and Soul's now in the 1v1.
And he's left with only 25 bullets in this Vandal, so no more spraying through that floor of heaven. He's not aware of the position from Addison. He thinks he's below. Oh, and he manages to see just the tip of his head at the last moment and finds that a headshot to give his team the first round. And what a round from Souls. He, I would say, single-handedly almost manages to win that round for his team after getting those 3 very crucial kills. Should give 100 plenty to hope for the next few rounds.
Yep, and ultimates are beginning to come online as well. You are going to see Yagas with that KO ultimate available. Nothing on the Gen Z side right now. And actually, they're not that close. They're at least 3 orbs away from everybody on the other side. Souls is going to be 1-off knives as well. They're waiting for that initial KO dart, which is going to come through. Not going to find anything, actually. And that's been a consistent, you know, conditioning thing. KO is going to set up on mid and is going to, you know, toss that knife each round. And actually, they don't spot anyone. 100 Dweebs made this adjustment, and now Gen Z has no information.
And it's insane that just 100 Dweebs have managed to trick Gen Z into, like, giving up a site. Here we're going to see Souls, once again, going with that standard execute we've seen from him every time in the rounds. But Chris Layer is here. He's going to try to contest something. He pops out of the smoke. Vantage too. But Souls is there for the trade. It gets flashed, though. Players coming in from Gen Z out of that heaven area. Dart from Trix will manage to find a headshot onto Ferris. Will get spotted by the shock dart from his contemporary. Tron, though, with a shot onto Ethan, putting this in a 3v2. Trix in a low position. Oh, Souls in a little bit of an off angle, finding Shinfu, leaving everything just left to Addison. Once again, left in a situation where he needs to clutch up for his team. Will he be able to change history? Right, unlike last round where he wasn't able to win that duel against Souls, but it seems like it's gonna call for a save here, which is a solid strategy. Looking that they only have 100 credits on Addison, so saving this round is a great call from the side of Gen Z, especially when you're up 3-1. Right now, you're gonna be up 3-2. You still have an advantage, especially on this defensive side of Ascent, which sometimes can be a little difficult for teams to crack. So Gen Z coming in with the save.
Yep, gonna get out and gonna save that weapon as well going into the next round. You will see, you know, 3 players alive, and that's a big comeback now from 100 Dweebs. That is gonna break money. I do believe on the Gen Z side, I don't think they're gonna have enough to really buy into this round. You can see, okay, so 2 of them do, and 2 of them don't. So we're gonna see whether or not they're actually gonna go for this, or they go for a quasi-buy. But now 100 Dweebs is beginning to rack up some money here. They are definitely gonna have a buy going into the next round. And does look like 100 Dweebs is going to buy in here. They are going to assemble 3 rifles, 2 pistols, which is not that bad, all things considered right now. So we're going to see whether or not Gen Z is going to make an adjustment. And you can see the adjustment happening right now. There's 3 players here on the A side. So Chris pushed up here with his Vandal, looking for somebody here. And, you know, you're going to see Trick is going to have that drone out. Is going to spot Chris. And Chris, you know, thinking about going for this. And you can see the range here. You can see that range of that, you know, that buff that you were talking about. It's so much bigger now. Chris has so much more freedom to kind of walk up because he's still in range of that teleport.
Yeah, and you have to understand that it's an increase to the radius, so it increases the entire circle, not just, you know, a slight area, which makes it look a lot bigger than it previously was, even if it was just 3 meters. But here we go, Souls coming in with the execute, but doesn't find Ethan sitting in that corner. Tron, though, will find the interchange. Souls is in this site, and he's going to creep up next to this door near market. The dart will spot him, though. Oh, my God. Ferris with the insane headshot onto Souls to get him out of that position. Tricks, though, will find an interchange. We'll find that trade on the other side, leaving this into a 2v3 now. Gen.Z on the back foot with the spike down. Ferris looking for more, but is flashed by Yogan. Yogan with a double in the round. Yogan with a triple to close it out, putting 100 Dweebs even now on the scoreboard. And Gen.Z is looking a little more quiet than they started. You know, maybe the adrenaline from that 4K from Chris Layers running out. No.
I mean, it might be right now. You are going to see, I mean, Gen.Z still going to have a buy-in here, but they are going to be completely out of money, basically, as a result of this. 100 Dweebs had a couple buy-in. They're beginning to stack up a bank here. And yeah, the momentum from that initial, I mean, they're not really that afraid of Chris at this point. Since then, you know, we've had 4 rounds, or 3 more rounds. He's found 4 kills across 3 rounds, which is still pretty high. But the rest of the team has not been able to capitalize on these kills that are being found. And as a result, 100 Dweebs is beginning to, you know, take this and put it into their advantage with a big adjustment to their map and their play here. Jess is going to pick up that orb, so she's going to be one off of an ultimate here. And Chris going for these peaks, right? Going for these aggressive moves, and it's not working out. Tron's going to find that one, and that is another man advantage. Gen.Z, I think, has given up first blood in, I think, the past 4 rounds now.
Yeah, I just think that Chris... the problem that's happening with Chris is that they're just managing, 100 Dweebs are managing to just avoid where he is every single time, right? And then when he tries to go for those plays, he just gets shut down immediately, just like Souls has managed to shut down Shinfu. But Ethan on the up and up, finding 2, Ferris not far behind, giving some support, putting this in the hands of Gen.Z. This could be the round that sets him up. Addison with a beautiful headshot, finally being able to take a fair duel in these rounds, and is given another one, but this time isn't able to put the final coffin, or the final nail in their coffin. 100 Dweebs finally giving up a round, and seems like Gen.Z is back on the rise.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to find that round there, and you can see ultimates online. Chris is going to have the second ultimate of the half already, popping that one immediately, and you're going to see everything online almost for the side of 100 Dweebs. Gen.Z as well has 3 ultimates online, plus Chris's. So there's going to be some stuff going on, possibly some chaos. We're going to see how many of these get thrown down, but Jess also has that ultimate available, so you can see a potential execute coming through, except Jess is also probably peeking into the ultimate here from Chris. We're going to see where this goes. You're going to see Addison is going to get it. Jess actually picks Chris. The ultimate is down.
And I think that's a huge problem for the side of Gen.Z. That ultimate is a big front line for them to be able to contact and take some space all across the map. And now that that's down, they basically just have to play a reactive game where they wait for 100 Dweebs to execute and maybe burn a few of those ults, and then they try to flood back in with that local man and with that Hunter Spirit. But this time it seems like 100 Dweebs want to play it a little more, cheaply. They want to play it a little more strictly, not using any of those ults to take control of the site, knowing that this A site is completely clear, but instead they're going to use it just for deterrence, right? They still have those ults ready to go, but Ethan comes in. Souls is looking a little bit lost, looking for the contact down in tree. Manages to find one. Yogan though, and Jess ready for the trades. Addison with a double to even out the numbers, 2v2, but he's still a little bit low. Yogan instantly managing to find a third in the round, killing both initiators and giving his team numero 4 on the scoreboard and putting this back on even.
I mean, that is, I mean, Yogan's been putting up some big numbers right here. 9 kills so far to lead the team in some really important clutch moments, just like that. The 1v2 that kind of got devolved, they weren't expecting, Ethan to go right through that smoke, and it basically caught everyone off guard. Souls was looking the wrong way when it happened, and the team was not really ready for that, but they're able to recover, putting 2 players down in Hill, not able to get forced out there by Addison's smoke or shock darts there, and it allows Yogan to just go and finish that one off. And they're ready for that too. I mean, they're ready for all these moves that are possibly coming their way, right? Jess was looking for that. They heard the knives. They knew where Ethan traditionally plays. And here comes the Killjoy ultimate here. It isn't a spammable spot, but no one from Gen.Z is really in a position to actually do anything to it. They're going to have to back up. And Chris actually gets caught in that, so that's going to be a little bit awkward here. One player is going to be detained, and that is going to be, into the site, but they haven't actually put the smoke down either. So, excuse me, bomb down here. So Spike carrier, yeah, kind of left behind, and Shinfu somehow catches Tricked on the way out. But Yagen there, gonna find another, just finds one more. And you know, Spike doesn't even need to go down. They're just killing everybody.
This is just team deathmatch at this point. Chris Slayer trying to pick up a gun in there, but Yogan ready for the jump peek. And I think Gen.Z are giving 100 Thieves way too much respect. They're letting them completely take the site, and I understand that, you know, you have an enemy KO that's basically going to shut down like 50% of the game, right? He's going to take away all of his abilities, but you still need to be able to contest a lot of that space taking that 100 Dweebs is doing if you are even going to be able to retake later, right? You need to have some sort of control in the site in order to be able to retake, and if you just give it up completely, your retakes are going to be insanely hard, especially when you have the entire enemy team staring you down.
Gen.Z apparently wanted to switch something up, and that something is 2 ops and an Odin. So that is an arsenal that they've got, but also if Gen.Z loses this round, they are going to be broke as a hell, basically. Ethan is going to avoid this and is going to look for any potential players here, but you're going to have both ops are here.
Ooh.
Ethan and Chris, both ops are going to be here. That they didn't time that properly with the smoke. They get blinded on the retreat. Here comes Trick trying to spam these players out. Is going to catch Chris. Chris goes down again. You know, so many first bloods. Ethan goes through not expecting souls. And now Addison left in a 1v4. And, you know, I was going to say Addison's probably going to look for an op and get out of there, but doesn't even get that opportunity. And that is a big win from 100 Dweebs. Actually, I really like this. You know, the adjustment they've made coming off of last week when they kind of got smoked. I mean, it wasn't a very close map 1. The barbecue kind of ran them over. And, I mean, 100 Dweebs did make it, you know, respectable. They made a comeback late in that game, but they were just getting outmatched all across the board. And this week, this is not their map pick. They got some reps on it, but this was not their pick. This was the Gen.Z pick, and 100 Dweebs is taking it to them right now.
And I feel like that just goes to show why they let it go through the ban, right? You would think that they would try to prioritize banning out this map after they just got completely hammered last week, but instead they, you know, show that they've been doing their homework, that they've been putting in the server hours, and they're ready to take on this map. Oh, Shinfu is in a little bit of a precarious position here. He could find one, but manages to slip away quietly, give up the space, but doesn't give up the information. His whole team is not prepared for this market take, but Triggs is there to finally take him out, take away the ears from Gen.Z, putting them in a 4v5. But Ethan manages to find Yogan and puts them back on even. But these sheriffs need to do a lot of work. But Chris Slayer is prepared, and Ethan, these guys are on fire, just going back and forth in each other. Tron not able to find the kill onto Ethan. Wolf puts the shots, but turns around and completely smokes Ferris. A little bit of luck involved there. The RNG is smiling down on him. But I think they have no spike. They're rotating towards the A side. I think they're calling for a safe because, or no, wait, they're gonna Omen ult it.
He's gonna teleport. He's gonna right on top of that. Is gonna grab it though. Yeah, Chris is able to interrupt it, but not able to prevent it from being taken. And it's actually gonna be planted for Heaven, basically, for Heaven and Hell. So this, like the placement, I mean, he had all the time in the world, basically. And actually, look, where Trick is gonna catch both of them completely off guard. They were going for that mid-rotation. Tricked went all the way back into spawn, and all of a sudden it's a 2v1, and Addison has no HP.
Absolute decimation, and Triggs just understanding the positioning and the state of the game, and knowing that if he catches at least one person on this mid-rotate, he wins his team the round. And instead of just catching one, he catches two, and at the end he catches his mirror onto Addison, giving him a third on that round. And man, these 100 Dweebs players have just been on fire, just not even mechanically, but mentally. They've been playing a different level of game compared to Gen.Z in this map.
I mean, it was, they have my attention. I was too distracted because I'm looking at the plant and I'm going, he had, you know, all the chances in the world. Like, he had all the time to plant wherever the heck he wanted to, and then he plants in a spot where it telegraphs where he's gonna be, right? And then I'm completely not paying attention to Trick, who rotates all the way out through A main into mid, catches both players running to the A side through mid. That was just absolutely crazy. Yagen, though, is unfortunately going to get picked early here. Goes down. I don't think they're going to be able to pick him up somehow. Actually, no, they're going to bait him. They're going to bait with the body down, and they're going to find two, but no, Ethan's going to be there to interrupt it all and finds all three at the end. they had a good chance in that round. 100 Dweebs definitely had it, where they're like, oh, we'll just bait this body, right? And everyone's gonna go through as they try to like tap him and pick him up, and instead Ethan just taps 3 players instead. And that's gonna be a 7-5 half for 100 Dweebs. They're gonna move to defense, and this, you know, this is where the difference is gonna be in that Sentinel pick, right? You're gonna have the Chamber on Gen Z for the attack, but 100 Dweebs is gonna have a Killjoy, and that is gonna lock down so much more than the Chamber, because really your Chamber lockdown is I am here and I am scary.
Yep.
And it worked for about 3 rounds, and then it stopped working.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see how this goes.
But I think the change does add a little bit more entry power to that Gen C side, right? You have the Chamber who's able to walk and be very aggressive and be almost like a pseudo initiator and take a lot of space and then exit out and give that duelist all that space to be able to clean it up. But in this case, they're playing a little bit more chill, more relaxed, letting Chris take a little bit more methodical space, looking for a little more of those setup duels. But Jinfu, on the other hand, is playing a little bit of opposite. He has taken all that space into tree. I think he did a little bit of damage onto Souls and manages to find his partner, but they're gonna Soul. They're not gonna check Souls. And Tron doing a beautiful work of baiting his teammate Souls with a double trick. Manages flares, but Addison is there for the initiate, but Souls is looking for more. Finds another headshot onto that Addison, and it's all left up to Chris Layer, who's out here doing a little bit of whiffing, but it's okay. We all whiff. It's still time on the clock, 45 seconds, but no spike. It's left on a main. It's being watched like a hawk by Souls. Hard angle to break here. Manages to find the first. Cannot find the 2. Runs out of headhunter bullets. And just with the classic puts him down. Giving 100 Dweebs their first pistol. And possibly this map, right? You know, that was a very crucial pistol for Gen Z in order to be able to mount this comeback. Now, instead of seeing an, you know, 6-7 or 7-7 half or map, you're going to be seeing now maybe a 9-5 half, which is going to put it very difficult for that Gen Z to be able to mount a comeback.
I mean, after the first round, I was definitely not counting out Chris, right? 4 bullets in that headhunter, and there was 3 targets. Definitely doable, but unfortunately runs out of bullets and has to switch, and that cost him his life. So this is going to see the outlaw pick here. You're going to have 1 go down instantly, so Souls is going to find that. Is going to stick around with this second shot, waiting to see if potentially someone is going to peek this. The answer is no. No one's going to peek this. They're going to back it up. But that is also the spike that was, you know, is on the Omen. I don't think it was dropped at any point here, so that is going to be the players from the side of Gen Z just backing it up, going back into mid, but they really don't have a lot of map presence. And 100 Dweebs is actually completely leaving mid open here. There is nobody there.
Yeah, I want to say that. Look at all the presence that 100 Dweebs has taken up on B main, right? I don't know if you guys noticed earlier, but I think it was or Trix who droned up all of B main, so they know that these Gen Z players have to be either main or mid. And they're 100% right. You know, they have that Killjoy bot set up in mid, and they know exactly where all of these Gen Z players are, which basically takes away any factor surprise from this hit, but it doesn't take away factor surprise from Addison, who will find that headshot onto Yoga and put it in an even front.
30
Still,
seconds
though,
left.
a lot of reinforced positions that they have to dig out 100 Reeves from. Ferris taking a little bit of point, finds his counterpart with utility out, but Tron's superior weaponry will find Ferris. Addison with the trade though. Chris Layer finds one of his own. Souls will find Ethan with that classic. Chris Layer, a little bit of a flank, a little bit of a whip, but at the end he finds that kill with that Spectre. Thrifty for Gen Z, giving them that bonus round. And are we flipping the script now, right? You know, last half we saw Gen Z win the pistol and then 100 Dweebs take over, but are we gonna see 100 Dweebs you know, falter a little bit, take a back foot, and let Gen Z bring this back to an even map?
I mean, we're going to see. I mean, that is going to change things up a little bit here. 100 Dweebs very, very broke here, which means Gen Z should get a pretty free round here off of that win. I mean, the big thrifty there. They found the shots. They got some great shots there. And now it's going to see where 100 Dweebs is going to do with, you know, not superior weaponry here. They got to see where they're going to go. Trick is going right out the middle. And Tron is DC'd. We've seen this one before.
Oh, no. They tried to go for a play mid. Trix was able to land a lot of damage, though, onto Addison. puts them in a little bit of an advantageous position, but they will not find any of those kills. Now Gen.Z is responding by taking a little bit of this mid space. Not a lot though. They're being a little cautious. Dark coming through. Will spot tricks, and I think he's going to be in the perfect angle for Ferris to take advantage of it. On the other hand, Ethan and the rest of the team are taking over this B site, finding Jess, clearing both, but Yogan with the shorty will find that spearhead, but is put to bed very quickly. Souls left low in health though. Finds Ferris.
Spike planted.
Tron was just standing on the back stairs there, and nobody cleared him until like right there. Is back in the game though, so I don't think we're gonna have to go to a pause. Soul's gonna have this Phantom. Probably just gonna save this, look for some exits. I think 100 Dweebs will have the money to buy into the next round. And you know, with 30 HP, we're probably not going anywhere. So we're gonna see what happens here. Is Addison just looking for any potential things? Souls is just gonna hold on to this weapon. They're gonna go into the next round. And we're gonna see how 100 Dweebs recovers off of this as well. They're pretty lucky, honestly, that Tron disconnected in a pistol round. This wasn't, you know, the next round, the all-important gun swing round here. But it is going to be 8-7 as we head into the next round. There's going to be buys on both sides here. So we're going to see what Gen.Z decides to go for, what 100 Dweebs is going to decide to go for, if there's going to be adjustments, right? Gen.Z hasn't really shown a pattern yet in terms of what they're doing. And 100 Dweebs is actually throwing the same knife that Gen.Z was throwing in the first half, you know, and that from like connector, like mid connector there into the wall to check A main. So we're going to see what happens.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the great IGL of the decade, Sadak, always says that the best Valorant is played when the teams are playing mirror comps, right? Because it's not then a difference between the characters, it's just all between the players. And I think we're seeing that in this game, right? We're having both teams going back and forth. Even though 100 Dweebs took a little bit of a lead earlier in the half, Gen.Z being able to bring it back with just pure mechanical ability, right? They haven't thrown any outrageous plays or anything that was very complicated. They're doing very simple, very fundamental stuff, but they're doing it very well, and that's leading to a lot of success here. But this time, 100 Dweebs is playing a little bit more heavy towards that mid, right? We had a 1-3-1 basically, where we had a lot of presence towards that mid area and a little bit of retake. But Yogan tries to find something. Chris Layer is there though. I think he got flushed by Chris Layer's teammate, I think.
Yeah,
and wasn't able.
That was Chinfu in the back. So the one that he was shooting at got the flash, and then yeah. So, I mean, honestly, nice setup. If that was an intentional setup, very nice setup. I am very happy to see that. But Gen.Z will be into A, and we're gonna see. And Chinfu is gonna find tricked here. That's gonna be another kill. Will get responded. Tron's gonna find one here, but Tron took a couple shots in that engagement, and we got a 3v4 retake here with Jess setting up in heaven, and you're gonna have Souls going all the way around the backside right now, and there's nobody watching this. Actually, there's no way for them to know.
It is possible that somebody just turns around in the nick of time. Souls is taking it very slow, very gentle. He does have this Phantom, so he could do a little bit of a spray down. Finds the first, a little bit of a spray, 20 bullets left. Does banish a little bit of damage and distract the rest of his teams, but will get shut down instantly. Jess finds her and puts it in a 1v2. Spike is ticking though. Time is low. Addison will take her down, putting this even 8-8 on this ascent. And I think we have a little bit of a game in our hands, right? Gen.Z bringing it back from what looked to be almost an unwinnable map, right? It was almost going to be 9-5. They were down 8-5. But after that thrifty, they've just been on a heater, and it's looking like they're going to take control of this. We will have a pause here coming in, I think, from 100 Dweebs.
Oh, there goes Tron again. Yep. So, you know, we lost Tron again in a important round here. So we're going to see. Yeah, we're going to go to a quick tech pause here as they try to sort that out. I think Tron's been disconnecting. It happened last week, it happened again this week, and then happening back to back, like, you know, very few rounds apart from each other. So we are going to see what happens here, but we are tied up 8-8. You know, when you said in the half where you're like, oh, the pistol's been won, so it's not going to be, you know, a tie match anymore. It's going to be, you know, 100 Dweebs taking the lead. Well,
it's a little bit of Castle Curse. A little bit of Castle Curse. I will say that. I will apologize to any 100 Dweebs fans that were hoping for a little bit of a stomp, but Castle Curse had to hit somewhere. But I guess we're back now from this pause. Tron seemed to fix his issues. We'll hear a knife though, and a little bit of an aggressive play from Souls. will put his teammate in harm's way. Addison finding that first kill on this round, giving Gen Z a very important first blood as they take control over this A site. Only 2 players on the side of 100 Dweebs to even contest this, right? You see rotations coming in. Ferris finding Tron in that corner. Now no smokes left for 100 Dweebs. Addison with a second on this round, and it's all left to the sheriffs of Trix and Jess. But be careful though, because we see on the Gen Z side that 2 of their players are very low. Ferris being the first one to die. Careful, Trix almost finds one, but Jess is the one that is left up to the task here. It destroys the shock dart, or the recon dart, finds the second low player. But I think that even if she's able to find Chris right here, or Chinfu, she won't have enough time, right? But it will be crucial because it'll give her those lockdown points, right? Chinfu's gonna find her from the back, and yep, there it is. And a little bit of making sure that the target is down, right? That wasn't BM, you know, that wasn't shooting bodies. So it's just making sure target down, right? Securing the kill, as we would say.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be another round found there. I mean, Chinfu on 5 HP, able to get through that round alive. And Ethan is going to pop the knives here, it looks like. Or, nope, actually, he's going to buy Vandal instead. Does have that ready. Souls is going to break out the Operator for the first time here. So we're going to see that weapon in play, and it is going to be over towards B main here. So, going to be contesting with Chris. The rest of the team grouped up here towards A. And right now, there hasn't been too much. I mean, the knife's going to come through both teams, you know, doing a good job. And Chris is going to go down that early first pick. Souls finds that, and that is going to be a go button here for them on towards A. But, I mean, you got to get... Addison's got to go because the spike's all the way in the back. And Ethan is just going to blow Tron up. Gets that one immediately. Yagin trying to find something here from Tree, but is going to be forced back. And this should be a spike plant here for the side of Gen Z. So they are in. It's going to be a 4v4 retake, but there's 3 ultimates available for Gen Z.
Plenty of utility here to be able to deter the players from 100 East taking the side, but they really aren't paying any respect to it. They're taking it completely, but Shinfu is gonna put some back into it. Ethan with the triple to give him 4 in the round, almost like he's playing aim labs today, as he blew through 100 East at the beginning, finding that opening kill. And then just at the end was made sure to finish this round and put his team on double digits and give them hope for a 13-8, maybe 13-9 finish onto this map, which looked very lost at the beginning of this half.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, the Killjoy is not really, like, they've basically just not gone anywhere near the Killjoy, and I would like to see 100 Dweebs adjust their setup here because they're just slamming A constantly, and that is, it's not really, like, nothing's really coming out of it. That Dart is actually going to ping 2 players, though, so they should know that this is going to be A main once again. But, I mean, 100 Dweebs not really rotating, not really adjusting for this. They got 2 players in mid right now, looking to find and do something, and Trick is going to go down for first blood. Addison will get dropped, though, so 1-for-1 trade here. Spike is going to be down in a little bit of an awkward spot, so Gen Z is going to have to get back to that here. But you are going to have players pushed up, you know? You're going to see Jess moving up B side. Souls is going to be here in mid as well, being a nuisance. You're going to see if Chris can track them down here and is going to spot Jess. Don't know if they're going to expect Souls, though. They should know that Souls is there. The jet smoke did come out here, and Yagin's going to be in this corner. Yagin's going to find that kill. Ethan, though, will find Jess. And, I mean, Gen Z should be expecting a second player here, but they are not really paying attention here.
Oh, and the flash is perfect. Souls managed to find Ferris while Shinfu is a little bit distracted by that flash, but Shinfu finds a beautiful headshot, but it's not enough. Tron and Souls find the interchange on the other side, giving their team a little glimmer of hope on this map. And that setup towards mid was like immaculate from 100 Dweebs, understanding that Gen Z is just gonna keep slamming A, so they are using that to take control of the other side of the map and using that as a little bit of a trap setup. I think Gen Z dwindled a little bit too much, or like lingered a little bit too much towards that mid area after Addison went down. But you know, great play from the side of 100 Dweebs.
I mean, it's going to see here. It's going to be 10-9, though. Gen Z going to have 3 ultimates. 100 Dweebs going to have 4 ultimates here, and you'd like to see them start using them here. It's going to be the first time Gen Z makes their way towards B, makes their way into the Killjoy setup, and, you know, that's going to be the early warning notice. And immediately, there's going to be the ultimate coming out of the side of 100 Dweebs. Trick, though, not going to find anything with that. So there's a Sova ultimate down. And actually, you're going to see an ultimate coming out of Gen Z as well, as the Omen gets across the map over towards A, and that should trigger rotation in theory. 100 Dweebs trying to get over here as fast as they can, but Shinfu is completely uncontested, just walking through everything, and Yogin decides, no, you cannot do that anymore. We are going to interrupt that immediately. The spike is going to go down, retake is on, and you might see a couple ultimates invested here.
And I think it's necessary at this point because 100 Dweebs have all those ultimates, right? Here comes that lockdown. Yogin will find the headshot onto Chris Slayer. The old Hunter's Fury will come through to break that lockdown, but that gives them less deterrence for that spike. Addison finds one, but Yogin with an ace! One with that Molly, and another one with the Vandal will put them even on this map, and man, Yogin's just been on fire. He's just refusing to let Gen Z get any distance from the 100 Dweebs.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, buy-ins again. You're still money. Gen Z still has plenty of money in the bank, and 100 Dweebs should still have a buy, so both teams here will have money available after this round. It's going to be all tied up here, and still ultimates available. 100 Dweebs did not invest, the kill, well, the KO ultimate is going to be available here for those retakes, depending on whether or not Yogin can stay alive here. But it is going to be another A hit. Gen Z, honestly, I mean, if it's working, don't really need to break it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Chris, though, will break down a little bit of 100 Dweebs' defenses as he takes out Souls. Put them on a 4v5, even taking a lot of space. Yet again, been very aggressive on these 8 executes, but doesn't see Yogin, which manages to get Ferris. Walks through the smoke, puts a little fire down range, but I don't think he even managed to find a lick of damage on any of those 100 Dweebs players that were standing behind that smoke. Tricks, though, flash in the air of tree, trying to break through, trying to find something, but in this situation, we'll just wait for his teammates. Paranoia comes through, though, from 100 Dweebs, in a great position to capitalize on it, but he won't manage it. Instead, his teammate Tron will manage to find Shinfu on the other side, but Tricks finally using those shock stars to rat out Ethan from that entrenched position. Spike Diffusal coming down, Jess is just holding it completely in the corner, manages to get killed by Chris, but at the end, all those superior numbers from 100 coming in clutch, giving them round 11, and that was a chaotic round towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely everywhere. And I mean, there was a shock dart kill in there as Tricked, throwing it all through. Utility being used to absolute perfection here, as we are going to see Gen Z. Chris probably going to pop that ultimate again. Hasn't bought a weapon, so chances are that ultimate is coming out. But 100 Dweebs here, there it is, Tour de Force is out on the board. They're going to make their way towards B here. They haven't really tested B properly, and Souls is going to be here with an op, so this may be here to answer things immediately. We're going to see the first engagement here, whether they're going to flash around the corner or not. But it does look like they're going to throw the dart out, or the drone out instead. And, Souls definitely spotted by that, but has allowed a teammate to clear it. And is going to go right back in and finds the kill on Addison. So nice, good support there from the team, allowing someone else to clear it and getting that kill instead, able to re-peek instead off of that drone when there's that, gap in information. So big opening kill there from Souls here. And we're going to see now Gen Z losing first blood here. Where are they going to go?
Yeah, they're immediately vacating the premises, but careful, because 100 Dweebs have stacked so much information from that kill group towards that B main area. They have vacated a lot of this mid control, but just the presence from Tricks will be enough to push Gen Z out of that pizza market area and Storage Street instead. This thing is going to be just another default execute from Gen Z onto A, right? Taking control from Tree. Ferris, though, will take one. Yogin does. Manages to find the interchange here. But Spike is down. Very important. Shinfu utilizing that space that's been found in fifth. Manages to find 2 kills here, putting his team on the advantage. 30 seconds left on the clock. So Gen Z needs to move, and Shinfu finding a third on the round onto Yogin, leaving it all up to the operator of Souls. A little bit of an awkward weapon to be using here in a 1v3 retake, right? He's going to have to isolate these duels very appropriately. If not, it's going to be a very, very, very hard fight to take against Gen Z. But it looks like he's going for a little bit of a save here, right? Looking for those exit frags with this operator, living to fight another day and hopefully living to see the end of this map on their victory, because this operator, although it did a lot of damage at the beginning, it's just not the weapon you want to have in a 1v3. But careful, you could find one here with the flick, the readjustment, is able to find Ethan, goes for the repeat, but prepared for a crit slayer with an operator of his own, this time toward the force from the chamber. We'll find round 11, putting us again on a mirror scoreboard. Gen.Z back on the front.
Yeah, not having that weapon is going to be pretty costly here. Souls is going to have knives here, but doesn't have enough money to buy another operator, right? So you're not going to have that weapon in play. On the other side, though, still have money. Chris is probably going to buy Ferris. That will be rifles across the board on both sides. You're going to see a Bulldog on Tricked here as well. So, you know, not the most optimal. You're going to see some testing across both sides here. The knives are going to come out from Souls immediately, and Addison going to go and check this here. And, you know, same drill as last time, immediately going to fall back. Is going to spot, you know, knows where somebody is for sure, and is going to actually ping that turret. So you're going to see movement here. 100 Dweebs going across, heading towards B. They're thinking that it's going to be the weaker location. That dart spots nobody. So we're going to see whether or not 100 Dweebs is going to adapt to this, see if they rotate. They do have, you know, Tricked inside of market here to be offering some kind of support, and there's going to be a bit of a swap up here. Players are switching positions as we head into the mid-round.
Yeah, and pinging the turret was interesting because they didn't break it after, right? When you're on the attack, you want to create question marks for the defender team, but it seems like it doesn't matter when you're just going to power on through. Interesting play from Ferris is shut down by Souls. Shinfu, though, on the other side of the map, finding a lot of space, finding a completely free A site, and if Gen.Z had the spike, they could have just completely rotated and forced a post-plant situation, but now Spike is lost in no man's land. Addison, though, will find Souls, and this is a crucial kill because that was the main player protecting that Spike. Shinfu with a double on the round onto Yogan. It's all left up to Jess and Tricks, but Jess, though, not ready to give up quite yet. Oh, triple on the round, and Jess closing it out. Oh my god. Look, I wish we had a replay.
They were doomed, honestly. It's a 4v2. They're pinching from all sides. And Trick just says, absolutely not. We are taking all of them with the Bulldog. Gets all three players just with the fourth to close it out. And that's match point for 100 Dweebs now. They're able to get there. They're going to have the rifle buy-in. The side of Gen.Z kind of lacking on a couple. Ethan is going to have those knives out, though. So, you know, knives out for one. Souls had one set. Now it's Ethan's turn here. And we're going to see where they take it. We may be going to overtime. We may be going to map number 2 after this round. And it looks like they're going back to tried and true. You're going to see, you know, Chinfu pop that ultimate and immediately run for it here. As the suppression waves are going to go out. And it's going to force a full rotation. All 5 players are here. And Yaga's somehow going to get it through the smoke. Ethan is already on the site. But you're going to have to deal with this player here. I thought Aston threw the spike for some reason there, but everyone's just going absolutely crazy all over the map. Ethan's gonna grab a rifle here because he's only down to 1 knife. We're in a 3v3 on this retake here, and Aston is still gonna have that Hunter's Fury available. The problem, though, is that he's kind of trapped on the site. He's not gonna be in a position to really use this. Yogan's gonna get dropped. Souls is gonna find 1. Looking to make it 2. Chris goes down. There goes everybody. And 100 Dweebs is gonna take map number 1.
And man, round number 22 must have been a backbreaker for Gen.Z, right? A round where you're up 4v2 and a player just says, nah.
You're gonna have a Sky on the other. And this is, you know, the 100 Dweebs practice map. This was their map pick, and they're up 1-0 in the series. So looking to see if they're gonna finish and close things out here with a 2-0. But, I mean, you gotta play the map still. You gotta see where it is. Eyes on Chris and eyes on Souls as your top 2 fraggers out of map 1. See if they're going to continue that trend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Normally, the differences in composition on Sunset will lead to a difference in philosophy, right? If you're going to play a little bit more aggressive, taking control of the map, or if you're going to give it up a little bit and go for more information. But both teams are basically playing similar styles, right? With that Sky and the KO being almost interchangeable in terms of their ability to take control of the map. But 100 Dweebs, though, will go for a very grouped up position. Addison managing to find the perfect timing onto Souls will take the first blood for Gen.Z, putting them in a similar position as the last map. Utility will be interchanged, a little bit of a handshake from both teams. The dog will spot out one of the players from Gen.Z, but not the other 2 who are in this little bit of a backed up supported position. Tricks, though, has managed to sneak his way deep into elbow and just shutting down Shinfu with a beautiful headshot. Is down, very low on health. Tron though, shutting down Addison as well, leaving this in a 3v4. 100 Dweebs with the advantage, with two other players very low on health, with a third being a little bit, tagged up from an encounter. Spike will go down. 100 Dweebs going in for a little bit of a flank. Tricks and that Sky will go around, see if they can find one. Chris Slayer though, finding both of them with a beautiful headshot. Little man coming through with the defuse. Jazz does manage to find Ethan, shut him down, put it back to a 2v2, but low on health, last alive Jazz. And Chris with another 4K to start off the map yet again, and I think it's just destiny. He's just destined to take those first starting kills for the map and give his team the first pistol once again.
Yeah, I mean, just 4 kills to open things up once again. That's, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's 1 point off an ultimate as of right now. We're getting that defuse as well to go with it. But again, Gen Z opening up with a big round. And we're going to see where 100 Dweebs takes it now. Yeah, you're going to see, Chris is 5 points out of 6 already on that ultimate. So, big finishing off a lot of low HP players. But still got the job done, got that 4K. And that's, the start that you probably want out of Chris once again. You're going to see 2 Stingers, a Marshall, a Bucky, and a Bulldog coming out here. So Chris bought basically all the way down once again here. And we're going to see the push coming in from the side of Shinfu with that Bucky is going to get... I thought that was going to be collateral. I really thought that was going to be collateral, but Souls finds 2 with a Ghost.
Man, insane work being put in by these 50 guns from both teams. I would have hoped to see Chris go for that ultimate, but in the end, it just happens to rotate fast enough for his team to come in. Souls on low HP, will watch the spike go down. Tricks, once again, also low HP. 2v3, or sorry, 3v4. Left here with Gen Z on the back foot. Ethan trying to look for some space, trying to open things up. Knows that there's a player in that corner. Apparently will come through a little bit of spam, but he has teammates ready to support him. Ethan, though, in the end, will find a headshot. Finds another one as he turns on Jess. He needs to clear out the position from Souls. Will find it with a third on the run, and Ethan doing a little bit of run and gun, finding Tricks and putting 100 Dweebs Dreams to rest, finding the second round and giving their team 2 on the board, and looking solid on this sunset, but we still have a lot of Valor left to play.
Yep, I mean, you're going to have no thrifty second round coming in, and that is going to be a round picked up by Gen Z. It's going to be 100 Dweebs here going into this round with a full buy. They got Vandals and they got full armor across the board. Shinfu's going to pull out a Judge here, actually, and Addison's going to stay on the Ghost, it looks like. So the defensive side relatively undergunned here, but it won't be the first time that we've seen that underpowered side come out on top. It's going to be a pretty good spread, and I think 100 Dweebs is finally going to go for some B main control here. They haven't really gone near it for the last couple rounds here, and they're finally going to, poke some stuff over towards it. It's going to get immediately smoked off here. Souls is going to toss the Boombot through, see if it's going to spot anything on the other side. But this is allowing, some movement here. Gen Z is playing pretty far up here. You're going to see Souls is going to grab this ultimate orb. You're going to see Shinfu is like all the way up mid right here and is going to find Jess with that Judge at point blank range. Is going to find one. That ping's coming through. They're going to be spotted this. And someone else might walk into this here. And there's another. Shinfu's going to find Tron. 2 with the Judge already this round.
Man, and Shinfu has been going crazy with these shotguns on the sunset map, right? It's not something we normally see for Tricks, though. Wants to put in a little work himself, finds Addison. Souls manages to finally shut down that Maniac with the Judge down in mid, but it's all left up to Tricks. Does manage to put the spike down, has a lot of space because those players from Gen Z have decided to take the long flank around. He now knows that they must be coming from the flank, but the Neural Theft is going to spot out that position from Tricks. He stands here, backside, trying to put a little bit of false information on their back. Littleman will come through for the defuse. Dizzy up, tries to use it to peek off of it, but Forrest was prepared, taking a little bit of help from his teammate Ethan on breaking that Dizzy. And a third round for Gen Z, and looking a little bit similar to what we saw last map, right, on that sunset, or on that ascent, I'm sorry, where Gen Z started up 3-0 and then 100 Dweebs just picked it up. So this time, seeing a little bit of a timeout come from 100 Dweebs, seeing if they're going to find something here. But yeah, I think it's important to call a timeout. We didn't see many timeouts last map. It's always good that teammates utilize, or the teams utilize those times out, because sometimes you just need a little bit of a reset. Sometimes you need a little bit of a mental break from what's going on in Valorant to be able to catch your breath and go back into the game.
Yep, no, absolutely. I mean, honestly, I would have expected it to come out in the last map, but I mean, you can see here 100 Dweebs learning from last week where they didn't use it until basically it felt like it was too late. They're finally getting it on the board. They're done instantly, basically, and they say, okay, we're not dealing with this late. We're gonna get it now. We're gonna get it early on before this thing gets out of hand. That's exactly what happens. You've lost your gun round. 2 players go down to the judge. 1 player went down to a ghost as well. So, I mean, you have vandals, you have the overpowered weaponry in this scenario, and it doesn't get you over the line. So they only get 2 kills in that round too. 3 players survive, and that's gonna be 3 vandals picked up. So that's gonna be a bit of a problem here, as yeah, Gen Z's economy is beginning to get a boom here, and 100 Dweebs now has to sort things out. They're gonna be, not really with any weaponry this round, I believe, after losing that pie round. But things might get out of hand. Might start to get out of hand pretty quick here.
Yeah, and that play from Shin for last round should give a lot of insecurity towards 100 E's. We see them take up that mid space with a lot of utility, putting down 2 players on it, trying to take a little bit of a B split here. The dog will spot somebody. Souls coming in with a shotgun of his own. Finds Ferris. Chrislayer with the response though. Puts down that tip of the spear. Chrislayer with a double though. Finds Jess. Denies that spike plan coming in from the little man. Yogan in the same position though will find a double kill onto Ethan, and Chinfu putting his team back on top. 2v3 though. First player still alive in a very precarious position. Finds a third on the round. Could have the possibility of finding a fourth. Still in this spot. Will activate that cage, trying to give himself a little bit of space, waiting for Addison to make its way over so they can try to go for a retake. Cam put down, immediately broken by Yogan. Should give the perception that a player's here. Yogan has to go for the swing, finds the head of Chris, but the paint shells from Addison will find the kill. 1v1 left here, and Addison doesn't manage to find the shots onto Tron, giving them the first round. 100 Reeves finally on the scoreboard, and history doesn't repeat, but it sure does rhyme. As we see again, 100 E's managing to find what was in the last map a Thrifty, and this map I think was somewhat of an even buy coming in after that timeout. And a lot of ults on both sides of the spike.
I mean, you're going to have both rockets available, right? And you're going to have 2 Thrashes on the board, as well as the Null Command coming out of your KO here on the side of Gen Z. They're going to have a lot available to them. That camera's immediately going to get broken. Chris is going to be forced to back up here off the rip. Going to get out of there. Knows that he can't really contend with what's coming. I think that's the Thrash out on the board as well. So he's going to get pulled back so that they're allowed to pick that one up again. Soul's going to have a Bucky out, and the opposite Thrash is coming in here, as he's going to be able to detain. So, I mean, we're going to see whether or not they're going to push through, and that's exactly what's happening here. The players are going right through. Ferris is going to find one. Ferris is going to find another. Look at that. 4 in a row. Just sprays down the entire team. And that is going to be Gen Z just going right through, just sweeping out everybody there. As Ferris finds 4. We didn't see much of Ferris in the last map, but we're definitely seeing Ferris now.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen him pop off this round. We did have to have the Null Command and the Thrash from Ethan and Shinfu, which will put Gen Z in a little bit of a back foot, as 100 E's still have their own. Oh no, I'm sorry, they don't have their own Thrash, but they still have those Seekers and that Rocket from the side of those players, putting them a little bit in a disadvantage. But what will put them in an advantage is the economy from 100 E's being very weak after that loss, right? They won that 5th round or that 4th round. Oh, but the Rocket coming in from Addison will not find anything. Pulls out the knife, but has Ethan there to back him up. Tricks though will finally put down that Rocket's race after having a little bit of a Rosa in that position. Numbers equalized here, 4-4. And 100 Eves just vacating the premises, saying no thanks to the 3 players stacked up from Gen Z there. It's all up to Chris here, who has a little bit of a ratty setup, right? Doesn't have it right on that entrance, but has it a little bit further back to be able to play a little bit of retake. Shots coming through from the Sheriff will find him, putting him in a very low position. And Jess with the marksmanship will take out that counter. Yogan within a very aggressive position finds Ferris, who wasn't prepared for such a deep angle. Yogan with a second. It's all up to Ethan here, who at this point just needs to find economical damage. Takes a little bit of shots from Yogan, and Yogan says no more from you. Finds 3 in the round and gives his team this one for the marker.
I mean, there you go. You know, Yogan is beginning to pop off here and doing some big moves there, able to find the kills. And that was, you know, an eco from the side of 100 Dweebs. They're able to come out with it. And, you know, that's the second time now we've seen probably someone that shouldn't, like people that shouldn't be getting kills. They're picking them up here. Very nicely played. Chris adjusting the setup a little bit here, as we're going to see what they're trying to do. Ferris is going to be set up here and ready to go. And it's just going to be Chris trying to lock this one down. Is going to pop that camera once again. Nobody there early on. And that's going to be a lot of info for the side of Gen Z. They're going to be able to move with this, as it's going to be a mid hit here. They're not really checking the door, it looks like. They're going straight for the mid cut. You're going to see Chinfu trying to block this off and try to get out of there. He's going to get swung, though. Not ready for that. Didn't think somebody had come through already. And the answer was yes, they definitely had. That's going to be Jess here trying to hold off the players, rotating in. The shots are going to come through. Tron is there to support as well. And now you're going to have Addison just pinched in, had no idea that was coming, as Yogan's going to smoke him. And that is going to be, you know, another round for 100 Dweebs here. It's going to be Chris now left in a 1v5. Probably just wants to save the rifle at this point. I don't think anything's coming out of it. Doesn't even get that chance. Wow.
Flawless round coming in from 100 Dweebs, and Gen Z, I'm seeing a little bit of the same that I was seeing on Ascent, which is that they find a lot of information across the map. They have beautiful setups, especially with that utility coming in from Chris Slayer, but they don't capitalize off it. Nothing happens when they see that nothing, no information, no movement, no shots, no utilities coming out of B main. And instead we have a little bit of a static team who's very heavy on their feet and can't really mobilize once they find information. So I would wish that they would make some sort of change to be a little more nimble. But Chris Slayer is going to put it on his back a little bit, finding that first with the Sheriff straight through mid. I think that gave him the neural theft if he didn't already have it. Now online, quick use on that body, and Ferris in a little bit of a ratty angle finds Tricks, but Jess is there for the trade. Good spacing from both teammates, putting this in a 4v3. Gen Z is up. Neural theft will come through, spotting out Yogan, puts him in a little bit of a dueling position, has to find the fight. Instead, 100 Dweebs will just give the space, but no, Yogan's still looking for it. He knows that he has to be a little bit of a nuisance to the rest of this team, but Addison will immediately find it. Ethan flashed by his own teammate, but it's still defusing that spike. Jess comes through, finds both Little Man and Shinfu, but Addison will be able to put her down finally. It's all left up to Tron in a 1v2. Ethan, though, there with the weaponry, finding a 5th round and putting Gen Z once again on the lead. Thrifty.
I mean, that's the second Thrifty now, too. Gen Z's been able to pull out 2 of these. Without those, this would be 5-3 the other way, but 100 Dweebs has not been able to kind of deal with the rattiness that's going on. Kind of unexpected things that are going on these rounds where they don't have proper buys. But we are going to see full buys here, both sides, so no, you know, Thrifty shenanigans. Honestly, the way it's going, Gen Z doesn't even need to buy weapons. They just buy sheriffs, and apparently it works out perfectly fine. They don't need it. But we're going to see full guns on both sides, and 100 Dweebs actually has built up a decent economy here, so they still have a buy after this. Even if they're going to lose, they're going to break that knife, and that's going to pick up everything. Chinfu's going to have to deal with that camera, is going to be revealed, and has to back away here and try to hold this off. But the dart is going to ping constantly here. Is finally going to get rid of that. And the Thrash, though, coming in from the back, is going to miss, actually. So Chinfu able to hold that one off. And there is, you know, did he just get a dink through the smoke?
I think he did. He almost got a dink through the smoke, but Souls is able to put him down finally. Yogan, though, is able to turn around, and Ethan. And oh my god, the kills coming in back-to-back from Souls, Tricks, and Tron. A flawless round and almost a team ace, I think, coming in from 100 Dweebs. They were just working like a well-oiled machine, right? Being able to take those trades coming in, even though that they had that heavy fire coming in from that Odin, they were still able to maintain cool and collected and find those duels.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely. I mean, we're going to see the sheriffs coming out again. So, you know, 100 Dweebs, the last round you just won was not the hard round to win. The hard round to win is now the Thrifty that's coming your way. You're going to have Ethan with 1 Vandal to kind of even out the money. Anyone else on sheriffs. And this, you know, is kind of the danger. danger zone that you're going to have. 100 Dweebs, though, does going to have a couple ultimates. That's going to be Souls flying right in with this, going directly in with this ultimate available, looking for somebody to fire this off at. I don't know if anyone is going to get spotted. Shinfu can't dodge it and immediately gets destroyed, just blown up. That's going to open up the site. Jess and Souls each finding kills in their respective areas. And now it's going to be a 2v5 retake. And, you know, Ferris with... Oh, no. All right.
Yeah, Ferris manages to get the one with the sharding to the night, the flawless, and man, a little bit of a chaotic round, but 100 D's finding a little bit of order within that chaos, right? Slamming that A side and just knowing that they are going to have that weaker buy coming in from Gen Z and utilizing that to their ability, right? That's something that we hadn't seen in the previous rounds that Gen Z managed to win those 50s where they were a little bit ratty, right? 100 V's was being very cautious and taking their time and clearing space methodically, but that gave Gen Z the opportunity to just play in this, I'm just gonna say it, ridiculous spots, right? Ferris in that corner and, you know, walking down mid with Chris Slayer. So, but this time 100 Reefs understand that they just have to slam it and find those opening duels. This time though, going back to their more methodical situation, Yogan Shane exchanged a little bit of utility with Shinfu on the tiles area, but the rest of his team is getting ready for an execute here towards this A site, or this B site, I'm sorry. Souls using that boom bot to clear out the position coming in from Chris Slayer. A little bit of a molly coming through Tron, finding that Cypher on the opposing team. Spike cannot go down though. It's being denied very well. Ethan finds a kill and that gives him his ultimate, sends it out, looking for someone and finds a victim. Detains that Cypher on the enemy team, but Souls though doing a very good job of covering his teammate. Shinfu and Ferris though interchanging, and Ethan with a triple on the round. Doing very beautiful job of using that Vandal to the fullest of its potential. Finding that Spike and finding round number 6 for Gen Z.
I mean, it was just the retake coming in, the Thrash as well, doing a great job, and no one really cleaned that one up until the very end. It is going to be 6-5. Gen Z finds that 6th round here as we're headed to the final round of the half, and we're going to see, you know, full buy on the side of 100 Dweebs. Gen Z in a little more dire straits here, I think. They're a little short on money. You're going to see Shinfu doesn't really have a weapon available, and we're going to see if probably somebody's going to try to buy that one in. There's going to be a couple ultimates available as well. Addison will have that ultimate online. Look to see that one get thrown in the instant they get some good information. On the other side, 100 Dweebs is going to have the Neuralink, so that as well is going to be something that you're going to have to pay attention to here. But early on, it is going to be a push towards B, and the Seekers are going to come out. So Yogan's going to spot a couple of these players here on the site. As the player all the way in the backside will get spotted, will get stunned out. Shinfu's going to go down early, but Ethan is locking things down and will trying to continue the last round, but instead gets dropped. Yogan's going to continue forward, finds 3 in a row, and that's going to be the round. Jess closes things out. The ultimates don't even need to get used, basically, other than the one coming out of Jess, as every player gets dropped in the back of the site. Yogan going off, and that is going to be a tied up half here as we head to the second half. We're going to have 100 Dweebs now on defense.
And I honestly think that Gen Z is playing, I think, a little bit of a more the slightly better Valorant in terms of strategic advantages, but 100 Dweebs just showing why they went undefeated in this season, having some of those players go insane. And we've seen a little bit of admiration coming in from the side of 100 Dweebs, but Yogan, man, has been insane throughout this whole series, right? He was a little bit quieter on that ascent, but still had some very clutch moments, and that last round showing why he's top fragging for his team right now and why this map is so close, right? 6-6. But it's not the time for Gen Z to be able to deal with these setups coming in from Jess, right? We see a little bit of a difference. Jess playing a little bit more aggressive as in comparison, their mirror on the other side, 100 Reeves was playing a little bit more passes, right? Chris Slayer was always playing in that corner next to stairs, but instead Jess is playing in this little cubby next to Market, trying to see if he spots anybody with those Cypher cages and with those trips. But Souls, on the other hand, is the one who's going to be doing a little bit of a cleanup towards that mid area. Chris Slayer, though, finds Tricks on the other hand, and Ethan pushing through, breaking apart that flank positioning, giving his team a 3v3 situation with 3 of the 100 Reefs players that are left alive stuck on this B site. Flash will come through. Chris Slayer finds one, but sadly runs out of bullets. Trons puts him to sleep. Finally, Gen Z though, I managed to rotate all the way around to A side. Finally, 100 Reeves will come around, realizing the spike is planting on this A side, and it's not left to a 2v2. Ethan, 24 HP, still has that dizzy, did not pick up the wingman, so he does not have any ability to clear any tight corners or maybe even use it as a distraction. And I think his play here is just to let his teammate call off a little bit of attention, but it's gonna be much more than that. Addison finding a headshot, the flush coming in from the dizzy, but Ethan not able to put away Tron, puts his team in a little bit of a precarious position, but Tron pulling out the utility at an opportunist time, and that gives Addison the kill. 7-6 on this half. Gen Z once again winning another pistol. I think they're 3 for 4 now. And maybe that will be what gives them the edge on this map.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 out of 4 rounds here. I mean, keep in mind, they split the last one 1-1, right? This time they've taken both pistol rounds, and still it's a tie game right now, right? It's 7-6 here. Gen Z will take the lead after that round and looking to make it a second. They're going to have 2 Bulldogs, 2 Stingers, and a Spectre. So the SMGs, the fast-paced play is probably coming its way. I didn't even know you could put a camera on that. I thought that was out of bounds, but apparently not here, because that's going to be the camera setup here from Jess looking, and is going to get absolutely swarmed in a moment here as the dart comes through. They're going to break that camera, but that is going to be, should be a green light here for undefeated to potentially just fly right for this flank here. You got 2 players in mid waiting for this. We're going to see what happens here, but the rotation reveal, they're going to get snagged and just absolutely stunned up, and here we go.
Jess finding one onto Addison with their class prepared for that trade. Chris Slayer find another one onto Trump, but be careful, even though Shin Fu has managed to find the last player on side, there's still that flank coming in from the part of 100 V's, right? It's Ethan and Souls up on this side, ready to fight. And Ethan managing to find the first one onto Tricks. Left up all up to Souls. And at this point, I think Souls just has to look for economic damage, and will find just that. With that goes, putting in a little bit of work, finding one, but finally Ferris finds a kill onto Souls, putting 8-6 on the board. And if we know anything about Gen Z, is that they like running away with this these eco rounds, right? They find the first pistol, they'll usually find the second, and most of the time they'll find a third, which could possibly put us on a 9-6 scoreboard. But like I said last game, you know, Caster's Curse can come in and shut me right up, maybe eat my words. But a little bit of a disjointed buy coming in from Gen Z, right? Having 2 Stingers and a Vandal, but then a Stinger and a Judge on the other hand. So we'll see what 100 can do now with this weaker buy.
Yeah, that was a nice flash too, because that is the dizzy going up, and then Tricked was able to retrieve that as well. So nicely played there from Tricked. As you're going to see where they're going to go with this right now. There's 2 players pushing up mid. We're going to see if Tron's ready for this. And the answer is no, Tron's not ready for that. Zyogen's going to be forced to retreat here, trying to get around the corner in time, and does so, but loses the armor in the process. And that should be, well, Souls finds one here and gets immediate, and Jess will get caught actually here. So Chris is going to get all the information on where these players are. They're all the way in the back, and that should be a free bomb plant here for the side of Gen Z. They're going to claim the site. Ferris is going to find one as it's trade going back each way. The Souls has found a way to even this up into a 2v2. You got 2 weak players on either side, but Souls is going to get a heal in here back to basically 100. So Gen Z is going to be the one working with the disadvantage. They might line up.
1 enemy remaining.
Almost line up both of them. Yogan, though, managed to find Chris Slayer, but Chris, on the other hand, takes out that play that was just healed. So killing doesn't come in handy when you get headshot. And Yogan, too many angles, too many spots. Ethan finding the headshot, doing a little bit of a bow. That was not a teabag. You know, he was bowing forward, paying his respect to his opposing enemy. And 9-6, like I said, Gen Z running away with that 3rd round of the half, and hopefully keeps going if we want to see that 3rd map.
Yeah, I mean, definitely do. That is basically where we're headed right now. But that, you know, once again, that's the 2nd time here. Gen Z has won 6 straight rounds, basically, just coming out of the starting the halves here. They win the pistol, they win the 2nd round, and they won the bonus. It's happened, you know, twice in a row now We're going to see where these players are going to take it. Trick is moving up pretty far here with that mosh pit available. And oh my god, he's just flying over there. Soul's going to find Chinfu. Immediately gets traded, but that is going to be the 1-for-1 there. Ultimate used though by Soul, so I don't know if it's as worth it for the side of 100 Dweebs. They're going to look to clear out a camera potentially and back it up. You can see Jess pushing through B main. They know there's some space here, but there's a rotation coming through. They're going right through market. Tron's going to get taken out. And all of a sudden, you know, 100 Dweebs is kind of stuck on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, they kind of stuck on the wrong side of the map. And not only that, but utilizing that ult that could have been used for a retake just to fight for some space, basically, right? Fight for an ult orb. I don't think it's that worth it, especially if your duelist is only able to find one. But now, bigger fish to fry. Addison, though, he's the one frying up the scoreboard, finding a second for the round, looking for a little more, but is even. He's going to be the one to find a kill onto Yogan and Addison with a third onto Jess, and double digits for Gen Z. 100 Dweebs looking a little bit of a little weak, you know, a little falter, but we saw what they can do on that last map of Ascent. We saw that they can always mount a comeback and to never count them out. But still, Gen Z, 10-6.
Yeah, I mean, you can never afford to count him out for sure. You can see Gen Z's build up quite a bit of a money bank here. So they're going to have plenty to go through for the next couple rounds. 100 Dweebs, if they lose this, they are back on eco here. As Addison... Okay, maybe it's just a bug, because it doesn't look like Addison has armor. But you can see armor was purchased in the inventory. So I'm not really sure about this one here, about what's going on. Maybe that's a spectator bug, but that's also Ultimate Online. They're going to clear out the backside here. The two players are actually on site. They're both tucked into the same corner. They're both going to get forced out by that nade here. They might go right back to it. The Souls is going to find one. That's going to be Chris down. The push from mid is able to pick off the flank player. And now 100 Dweebs has to start looking behind them. They got to figure out whether or not someone is going to be coming from the flank or whether or not that they're going to be okay to rotate out. And right now it looks like they're choosing to just group up and try to clear out the backside. Souls going all the way through spawn right now. Looking to see, it might actually run into... Oh, they're splitting up. So should get a 1v1 or is it going to get a massive flank here?
Yeah, it's possible. He could get a lot of damage here. At least get one kill onto that tag player. He does have a lot of space, can tell his teammate to completely stack this site, but on the other hand, we see a player up in that mid area looking for something. No sentinel here, so will not be spotted. Tricks though, finds Shinfu, is gonna be the first Jess. We'll find an interchange from Addison after using that showstopper, and Yogan coming in with another kill, and it's seeming like Soul's positioning didn't come in to very good use though, but we'll give the round to his team at the end there with a team ace. And like I said, you can never count out 100 Dweebs, right? They're always prepared to give you a surprise and to put themselves back on the attacking edge.
And they played that one really nicely. The kind of give and take, right? They, you know, they pulled back, allowed Gen Z to kind of come back, because Gen Z was thinking about that rotate. They committed all the players into mid and then decided to turn around and go right back towards A. 100 Dweebs not really fooled by it as well. They're able to be able to pick that one up, especially with Souls on that flank there. The patient and honestly incredible timing, you know, because every time Souls went around a corner, somebody just walked by, right? So no one was there to spot him at all. So very nicely played. Addison is going to have, you know, did use that ultimate in the last round. There goes Thrash as well, so you're going to have that available. As Addison's going to go find the site, but Souls is going to find Chris. Shinfu will find Tron, though, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade here on the site. But you can see the flank is coming in again. Souls is wrapping all the way around the back. Addison, I don't think they're going to clear Trick here off the rip, so Trick still has not been spotted. I mean, the utility is just confusing everybody here. But Souls gets picked as well, as Ethan was covering that. Jess is going to find one with the Guardian. Now it's a 2v1 here, as Yogan was suppressed. Now it's going to be Jess in the 1v1.
Jess left in a 1v1. He doesn't have a lot of health, right? Ethan, 81 HP, while Jess is basically on a hope at this point, right? But does have Spike on his side. Just looking for the duel, but Ethan with the better HP will find it, giving a clutch and giving another round to Gen Z, who has been looking a little like they needed it, especially after that win, decisive win from 100 Dweebs last round that put him up to 7. But now Gen Z up to 11, getting closer and closer to that match point, and hopefully that third map of Lotus.
Yeah, I mean, it's 11-7 here. There's going to be no purchase on the side of 100 Dweebs. They're going to go in with pistols only, basically, and one Spectre. Or maybe a Judge. I'm not sure. Yogan can't really make up his mind here, it looks like. But they're going to cycle through a few weapons here. Think about what they're going to do. But unfortunately, they're going to be fighting, you know, for the tie and for overtime here. Match point should be reached here by Gen Z unless something dramatic happens. And, you know, based on the way this game has been going, I would not be surprised if something very dramatic happens here. Addison's going to go all the way in the back. Ferris is going to find Tron, so there's going to be one pick, and the spike is already going down. As you can see, though, I mean, 100 Dweebs should just be saving these ultimates. They're going to have everything ready to go into the next round. Just try to do the damage you can because Gen Z has a lot of money banked up. But it looks like they're going to, you know, just try to go for this retake. Everyone slam one side of the map. That's a nice flash there. The players are going to go flying in. Shinfu's there to find one. Yogan's going to find one, though, and they're going to look for the second player here. There's Yogan with another. The shotgun is out. He's going to pick up a Judge instead and try to do something with it, but not able to do so. Gen Z only loses 2 in that round, but they are now on to match point, and 100 Dweebs can't afford to give up anything else here.
They can't afford to give up anything else, but they have a lot that they can give, right? They have the Seekers, they have that Neural Theft, they have that Omen Teleport, and that Thresh all ready to go, right? And Souls isn't too far away from the ult orb. If he's able to pick up at least one ult orb and maybe get 2 kills, he has that showstopper ready to go, which could be very deadly in a good retake situation. But we'll see how the round plays out. Addison here, looking for a little bit of space towards A main while the rest of his team takes over this Tao's area of the map. Chinfu is inching for a little bit of a fight with this Odin, but Yogan's going to be the one who takes the first duel against his teammate Ferris. Chinfu trying to use a little bit of the space given by his teammate, but won't find anything. Addison, on the other hand, finds that mirror matchup up on Souls, denying that showstopper and possibly denying a comeback for 100 Dweebs. Spike will come through as the rest of Gen Z take over in this A side. Seekers come out. Chris Slayer, though, finds a kill through the chaos. Chinfu using that Odin to good use. But Tricks, though, with the trade, we'll get the Tane yelling help to his teammate, who will be able to there to protect him, watch over him. Pops his own Thresh, doesn't find anything though, gives a lot of information. No, there's one behind the box, knows there's one behind that green wall, right? But Addison prepared for the duel, and Addison third. It doesn't matter what the statistics say, it doesn't matter what the probabilities are. At the end of the day, whoever dies first loses the round, and I think we'll see a little bit of a bloodbath here to start the map, because these two teams are just very, very aggressive, right? Even though Gen Z have that basically triple duelist, 100 Dweebs have that Clove handy, ready to fight.
Yeah, I mean, Clovis, you can also count as a duelist basically as well, right? And no Astra, actually. I was expecting to see an Astra from at least one team, but I guess neither team had really practiced it enough. But Tron pulling out the Viper is going to be very interesting here. Viper, you know, you haven't seen a lot of use since the nerfs came through. So I'm curious to see where they're going to take it and, you know, make good use out of it. You're going to see the Viper wall over towards A. They're going to charge towards B. And there's Chris to open things up as Yogan goes down. Souls might get a nice flank here and is going to pick off Shinfu here. Not sure if they're going to be ready for number 2. And no, Ferris is going to find that at point blank range. And Chris now is going to be one sole person holding on to C, as the rest 100 Dweebs, 3 of them left, are trying to think about where they're going to go with this.
And the smoke comes through the flash as well. Chris Slayer fully blinded as the 3 players from 100 Dweebs come through. Shots interchange, but Thrawn coming up on top. Ethan finds Tricks though. I'm not quite sure how, but manages to find that Sky, putting it all up to these controllers, right? This Viper and this Clove. Haunt comes in, spots one. A lot of damage coming through onto the side of Tron, who is left down. But Tron says he doesn't care. Finds Ethan anyways. Ferris, though, takes out Jazz. Tron with a third on the round. It's all left to a 1v1 between Tron and that haunting Fade that's prowling on the lookout, searching for this last target. 10 HP and a dream on Tron. Is not sure where the player is, but the spike tap will tell him. Addison coming out on top, giving Gen Z another pistol round. That is 4 for 5 now for Gen Z. And if it's anything like any of the other pistol rounds, they're looking to get 3 to start out the map.
Yeah, I know. We're going to see if that trend continues. Chris immediately pulls out the Outlaw. And honestly, I feel like 100 Dweebs is probably expecting at this point. They're probably going to buy nothing here. Just go in with only classics because they know that Outlaw is going to be in play. It was not afraid to be pulled out before. We're going to see if it comes out again. And the answer is yes, it does. So Chris is going to take that here over towards A, where the entire team is headed their way. So this might be pretty quick. Not able to see the player cross in catchment time. Teleports out immediately. And that is space now for the side of 100 Dweebs, looking to try to get these orbs, farm some ultimates here, and won't just fly right into the site.
Careful with that Phoenix though. Chris Lair will be the one to open it up onto Jess. Chinfu with the trade, managing to find souls, but Yogan is there prepared to take out that Outlaw close quarters. Ethan though with a beautiful paint chill denies the plan, takes out Tron. Ethan with a second on the round takes a headshot onto Yogan. Triggs though isn't flashed by Chinfu's curveball. We'll find him with the classic. Spike's not down. 1v3. Ferris with the slow clear and the shoulder peek finds. Triggs giving Gen.Z that second round and possibly giving them the ability to take this third round and keep the prophecy alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's a chance now here. It's going to be full rifles, and you're going to see Gen.Z playing defense with, you know, one Phantom, one Bulldog, a Spectre, and whatever Chinfu probably ends up buying. So we're going to see, I mean, if you're 100 Dweebs, you can't afford to keep losing these rounds. You have to win this round. You have to do something here and make things happen, but there's going to be a double stack up towards C where they're going. The Viper Wall is going A every single round, so it's a conditioning thing for the time being. Chinfu looking to make something happen here. Souls forced to back away. Souls is kind of stuck in this corner. I don't know where his teleport is, but it's not there in that corner with him. The rest of the team is the backup to help him out here as they're going to come around and try to swing on towards Chinfu, who does have a Phantom in play. A lot of shots going back each way. Damage not really done, it looks like. And, you know, that's going to be force a backup here. As Souls is going to be the next one, pushed up around the corner, has been healed up by the Sky, so has something to work with here. But it looks like you can see the repositioning over towards A side. They're in. Players are going everywhere. The Neon is in, and the swing is coming through. Addison is not long for this world, goes down, and that is going to be a spike plant.
And just getting that first skill. Tricks though will be able to find Ferris and putting Gen.Z on another back foot. It seems like the prophecy is not long for this world. Yogan will find Chinfu. Tricks onto Chris Lair with a double for both of them. Ethan denies the flawless, but Tron at the end of the day is there to take the final kill and finally give 100 Dweebs their first, like I guess, primary buy round for this whole series, right? That's the first ever third round of the half that they've ever gotten in. Yeah, just something that they really need, right? They need to really address to those thrifties, right? They were killing, absolutely killing 100 Dweebs on that sunset. So glad to see a change, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they finally made it happen. They finally got the third round, so we're going to see a scoreline of 2-1 for the first time here. Chris, first player up, is going to find that player. Gets immediately traded, though, before he's able to teleport out. So a nice 1-for-1 there as they're able to secure that and prevent the chamber from getting out of there. You can see 100 Dweebs now making their way here over towards A. That Viper Wall now probably coming into play as they're going to slowly creep up. It's only going to be Chinfu here with a judge. The Fade Addison is not really that close right now. Is not really in a position to kind of help out for the time being. Has been smoked off inside a connector.
No way.
Chinfu gonna hide in this corner. We're gonna see if that wall, there it is. The wall is gonna open up. Tron needs to clear this. Judge at point blank. Is that not gonna go through? I think Chinfu missed some of the pellets there, so that's gonna be the first kill again going their way. Addison, the smoke disappears, gets some shots through the wall, but Tricked is gonna get flanked here and is probably just gonna get taken out. Ferris goes 1-for-1 there with the trade. 3v2 now, as Addison is gonna be left here with the, well, the Rays is coming in from the back, and that's Ethan finding Tron on the flanks. Now we're evened up 2-2, and Jess, I don't think, is aware of what's going on here.
Yeah, not very aware of the situation that's happening right in front of them. Isn't able to get anything. Yeah, incredible bait coming in. Souls triple on the round to even out the score. 100 Dweebs responding to the runaway trade that has been Gen.Z this whole series. And yeah, that was just an incredible round. And I think Chinfu almost at the end there, or at the beginning there, sorry, had the ability to turn it around, but Tron being prepared for those rowdy angles, understanding that this team loves holding those tight corners with those close quarters weapons like the Judge and the Bucky. So, but different day, different round, more Valorant to be played. Starting in with a very aggressive positioning from Gen.Z towards this rubble area. We'll spot out with the Prowler. What is Souls? Addison, though, only with a Sheriff, takes the duel. But Souls wants none of it. None of that. Sprints away towards his B side. Has a trademark there ready. And I think he's just going to play off of it. Is broken, though. He's prepared for the push-up coming in from his teammates. But Chinfu wasn't prepared for somebody to be playing so close to him. Giving the kill to Souls and just playing aim labs with the back-to-back headshots. Ethan here gonna look for a little bit of a miracle. With the first shot, lands one, but Tricks with the superior weaponry finds the headshot onto that player, and it's all up to Ferris. 1v5. I think that was a sky flash, so he is spotted in his location, and Tricks using that information to find another headshot and find another round for his team. Flawless coming in from 100 Dweebs, and I think Gen.Z's touch with those 50s has gone away. I think the Fairy has gone back to her hideout for now.
Yeah, for the time being, I mean, there are several ultimates available on the side of Gen.Z. You are going to see that ultimate will be popped by Chris Slayer, so the tour de force is out and online. You're going to have 3 other ultimates available on their side right now. Weaponry is going to get set up. And you're going to see it's going to be rifles on both sides. Your Ferris is going to get ready for this blind right off the rip, actually. You're going to go straight towards Rubble. Potentially, or no, decides against it, it looks like, as you can see the push is already here towards the C side, and the Neon is already in. Already spotted this, and is going to get it snared in place. So, you know, held up a little bit, but Aston is going to progress through the wall. The wall bang coming in, as that's going to be just a crazy swing there from Yogan. Is going to find one and gets traded back and forth, and Ferris is coming for cleanup duty here, trying to find some more, but Tron answers back. It's just absolutely all over the place, back and forth, back and forth. We're in a 2v2. The Viper's Pit is out, and that's going to make this retake a little bit harder.
Oh,
Chinfu doesn't even check the corner.
Yeah, Soul is taking out what should have been an incredible ult. Fish out this Viper's Pit, but I guess never mind. They don't need it. Chris Slayer coming in with the double, taking out both players thanks to Chinfu's little bit of a reckless play there, using that Phoenix ult so quickly without really clearing any corners or prepping for it. But at the end, round is won, which is all that matters. Gen.Z finding a third, finally putting another digit up on the board after, I think it was 3 in a row lost from the side of 100 Dweebs.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see, 3 in a row. As we're going to see, the defuse is going to get picked up. 100 Dweebs, look at the money they still got. Almost every player except for Trick is over 3.5K. On the other side, Gen.Z, the money's a little more scattered. They're probably going to cobble together a buy after this round, but this round is going to be one of those swing rounds of the half. Tour de Force is also available, so the next, time they're going to have to buy for weaponry, Souls is probably going to pull that one out. Yogan as well. Not really having a game so far, right? At the bottom of the scoreboard, not something you're used to seeing. And okay, right as I say that, apparently he heard me. He might have heard that because, yeah, immediately swings Chinfu down. That's a start that they want to see right here as Yogan, up to 91 HP. Is going to go right through again, following the dog in as everyone goes charging forward. It's all Chris stuck here, trying to find, and is actually going to do a really good job of snagging that player, but everybody else goes down. I don't even know what happened. Everyone just died.
Yeah, it seems to be like a little bit of a
bloodbath.
Yeah, it just disappeared, living all up to Chris, and although he was able to find one, I think it was just too many digits to count. I'm not sure what happened there. Just all of Gen.Z, I think, just simultaneously lost their duels. I think they took a lot of 1v1s, which led to no trades happening, which then led to Chris being the only one alive. And yeah, Yogan seeming to have comms into this caster's booth, listening in, waiting for us to just commentate on his performance, to turn it up a little bit and find 2 very important kills to give them a round. But Chris here trying to answer back, trying to find a little bit of that magic that we saw on those first 2 maps with that 4K and the subsequent multiple clutch rounds. that he was able to find all over, but this time being a little more quiet, right? Being able to find kills, but nothing very impactful. Tricks, though, will find a huge opening round onto Ferris, which will give them the spike to be planted.
no,
But
here we
a
go
lot
again.
of game changes, and Chris, trying to find a little bit of a backstab, but won't find anything. Tricks is finally shut down, left up to a 2v2, but the spike is down. It will come in with that ult coming in from the fade. Ethan, a little bit of noise being made to try to play in his teammate, but won't find the double swing, and Jess coming in with great marksmanship to find both kills and give a 5th round up to his team, and 100 A's just seem to be on a heater right now.
I mean, that was just, Jess just swinging out. But again, 100 Dweebs probably sweating a little bit after that, right? Gen Z, the Sheriffs, again, ringing true, finds 3 kills, and it comes down to a 2v2 at the end where, it was a little closer than they probably would have liked it to be. Jess finds 2 kills, but, I mean, both those Gen Z players had picked up rifles, right? They had the weapons available to make that one happen. They're able to finish that one out. 100 Dweebs up to 5 rounds so far on a map like Lotus, where the defense it's much more defensively sided. That's something that honestly you really like to see, and really if you're 100 Dweebs, you're probably pretty happy with 5 rounds so far. I mean, you know they probably have some good confidence in their defensive half, but right now it's doing really nice start, and you're on your way probably to another one here as Yogun's in, trying to find something to work with. There's going to be a lot in the back, and that tour de force doesn't really have the angles to work with, honestly, right now. So, gonna see where that goes. There's gonna be 2 players though in CT spawn here. As somebody, I think that's Chinfu actually with the Odin, and that is probably just gonna get held down. That's gonna be a mouse 1 hold down, and a lot of shots are about to come your way.
Yep, control plus mouse 1 is the combo, but Yogan picks up an aggressive duel. Ethan will find the trade after Addison passes. Tricks though, finding one, Tron and Jess, both having to pop different abilities in order to be able to find one, but Jess utilizing that Clo to find a double in another round for 100 Dweebs, and Gen Z looking a little bit lost after those 3 initial rounds that they won, and 100 Dweebs just seem to not be letting their foot off the gas, and I think Gen Z need to play a little bit more aggressive in a contained way, right? I think they're playing aggressively, but it's not leading to anything because they are so scattered throughout the map, and perhaps this time we'll see a little bit of a difference, although it is a 50 round, right? So we're seeing Ferris coming out with that Bucky, see if we can find any impact, but instead it will be a full push from 100 Dweebs onto this rebel area. But careful, big duel coming in. Souls is the winner of that duel, finds Shinfu's dog tag, will take that away, leaving this in a 4v5. But be careful with that showstopper that is available, and as soon as I say that, Ethan gets taken out by Yogan. Yogan on a heater, pushing up with that stun, finds Addison, and Souls with a triple on the round, finding the controller, and that initiator will put round number 7 on the board and basically give 100 Dweebs the rest of the half.
I mean, this is, they're very happy with this now. You're up to 7 rounds, but again, you were up 7-5 on the Ascent, and it came that close, right? So 100 Dweebs is not going to be happy until they finish this half out with a 9-3 scoreline. There's going to be ultimates available. So 3 on the side of Gen Z are up once again. As you can see, Chris has moved location, switched over to B. They've let Ethan now hold on to C. But Ethan, doesn't really have the Sentinel utility to slow things down, because if they come flying at him, he doesn't have a whole lot to really hold on to this site with. So curious to see what they're going to do. Are they going to be able to send some delaying action his way? But Yogun's already in the site. He's already in. The Raze ultimate's going to come out, and Ethan's going to find one with that. Working around the side. Ethan finds a second, followed up naked. 3 in a row here for Ethan. Apparently everything I said was wrong, because, who needs delaying action when Ethan just kills every single player on the map? It's now left just down to Souls in a 1v5 here. I almost said 4, but it is 5, and yeah, this is looking like a 7-4 scoreline.
Yeah, Gen Z activating the Ethan go kill protocol and finding much success with it. Souls here, a little bit of a ratty spot, trying to ignite the ace. We'll do it. Ethan finally goes down, even though he took 4 other Souls with him. But Souls is still taking people's heads, finding Shinfu, and he has plenty of time, right? even though that spike is left in a little bit of no man's land, if he gets a little bold, he should be able to pick it up with no trouble, right? As the rest of Gen Z is basically vacating the
30
premises,
seconds
letting him
left.
just run out the clock. He knows there's another player there, but will he be prepared for the player coming from main? Just misses the timing. Is that aware of the position from that Omen coming in from the enemy team? Who will be able to spot him out? Coming in with the gun. Ooh, sees the shoulder just a little bit. And Souls
10
is not
seconds
done.
left.
Finds Ferris in this position, is literally in the 1v2, and this is looking a little scary for Gen Z, but finally, Chris Slayer will find Souls, shutting down that heroic play, what should have been a 1v4 win, right? Turned into a 1v2 possible loss
Last
for Gen
round
Z,
in
but
the half.
they're able to stop the spiral and lock in that 4th round.
I mean, they were cutting it close, that's for sure, right? I mean, 100 Dweebs should have been out in the round at all counts, and all of a sudden, you know, Souls is making me believe, finds 3 in the round there. Has that ultimate available as well for this last round, so the Tour de Force online, and that is going to be a couple ultimates. You got the Neon and the Chamber ultimate available. That is 2 big impactful ultimates that may be a swing point in this round. We're going to see if it'll get popped early, but the flash and the A presence here from the side of 100 Dweebs. We're starting things off early, and Shinfu, oh, here we go again, but no, Souls does not fall victim this time and stays alive.
And I think Souls has done a very good job of being able to punish those aggressive plays coming in from Shinfu from B main. Ethan, though, and Addison will be able to find one for each. Tron with the response ready and the teleport coming in from Ferris, I believe, going in towards that A side, or never mind, he was going towards that flank instead with a judge. Tries it, but Tron was prepared. Jess and Tron, both controllers, once again left up the task, winning the round, and Jess will manage to win that duel against Addison. And Chris is left here with the Tour de Force, no
Spike
armor,
planted.
but his opponents are also very low in health, right? We see the Jess is low, a little bit tagged up, while Tron is completely low on health, right? 1 bullet, 1 simple blow from the big bad wolf, that is Chris Slayer, could take him out. Spike is ticking, not all the time left, just about 30 seconds left onto the spike to be defused. Chris is grenade for the first duel, finds the positioning of Jess, but will not be able to find the kill.
enemy
Comes in
remaining.
with another swing and takes his head off instantly. The Viper's spit is gonna come through, and Chris
No one else
just
could
lets
do this.
Sean walk into him, and I think he might just have enough time to defuse the spike, and yep, he sure does. Finds the 5th round for Gen Z, and I think this is the best case scenario for this team, right?
Switching
Being able to find
sides.
this 5th round after being down basically 7-3.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to come back with 2 straight rounds. I mean, despite the heroics from Souls, right? It is going to be a 7-5 half, and we've seen this before. And this is where you need to see 100 Dweebs win the pistol, right? They've lost 4 out of 5, like you said earlier. This needs to be one of the ones they win, because otherwise, you know, this is probably going to be tied up headed to that 3rd round. And, you know, history says their 3rd rounds have not been very good. So we do have to really pay attention to that and see what's going to happen. Y'all immediately going to go out. I mean, if you're 100 Dweebs, you had 2 ultimates that you could have used in that last round, and neither player got it off. So you would have really liked to see them utilize those ultimates and, you know, make something happen of it. But those timeouts as well, keep in mind, 100 Dweebs did use one of those already. The second one is going to be available, and that is going to be a crazy amount of utility flying immediately. Ooh. And what a start
down
from
A.
100 Dweebs.
And 100 showing what that Neon can be so strong on that defending side. And Souls, once again, taking control over this mid-B area. Even now on the defense, finding a kill once again onto the lurker that was trying to creep up onto mid-B. Tron, though, the only one playing onto C, holding it down. Chris Slayer and Ethan just trying to look for something at this point, right? What do you do after you instantly, basically, like 3 seconds into the round, lose 3 out of your 5 players, right? At this point, you are looking for any crumbs that may be giving, and Jess isn't in the business of feeding ducks, as he will find one. Wildtrick finds another flawless round, and finally 100 Reeves win a pistol, breaking Gen Z's streak of winning pistols. And I think, even though I said this on a sense, I think this might be the beginning of the end here for Gen Z. 100 Reeves will pose to just win out another round and put them up 9-5.
Yeah, I mean, just big round out of them. And again, you know, Souls is going to have that outlaw out. So again, those weapons on the side of Gen Z are probably going to plow them their way right through this round. This 100 Dweebs, you know, Souls is going to have to back up. You're going to see that outlaw in play. So, you know, the teleport thought about it. And the trademark is actually going to go down. So this is going to be, you know, some beat presence here from the side of Gen Z. And they're immediately going to turn around. So the utility is going to get used up on B. The smokes actually came down on B as well. So there isn't actually going to be any smokes available here for the C hit that's coming their way, as they're, you know, just trying to open doors, be a distraction, do what they can here. But this has allowed the side of 100 Dweebs to rotate over towards the C side of the map. They got 3 players in B here, which is where I believe the hit's coming. And you can see the players are on their way in. And there's a spike. That is a big telling sign.
Yeah, that was a huge tell sign. Ethan taking a bit of a bold move, swinging out with the spike, and Addison copying the movements of his teammates will also fall, but this time to the Marshal of Tricks. Shinfu with a little bit of a flank, finds touch on to Just, but Yogan just happens to look over and trade out his companion in. Taking another one out there on Yogan. Taking a little bit of aggressive position here with the Spectre. Finds 3 in the round, but Chris Slayer finally shuts him down. 1v3 though, 22 seconds. Spike is just now being picked up. I think we can safely call this round for 100 Dweebs, unless Chris just pulls out incredible Goku levels of movements here. But nope, Trix is gonna shut down any of my ideations, giving us round number 9 for 100 Dweebs. And I sort of wish Gen Z would have looked a little more towards that A side, right? Because when all of those movements came in from that rotating door towards B and C, 100 East vacated A completely, right? A was completely empty. If Chinfu had just walked in like 2 or 3 more steps forward, he would have seen that A was completely vacated, and maybe we could have seen Gen Z get into a post-plant position, but instead they chose to take those duels, and in the end, gave the round over to Gen Z.
Souls is going to be forced to TP out. Has the outlaw, which again, you know, is not going to be the most effective weapon in this round because they have armor now. You're going to bring them down super low, but it won't kill them in one shot unless you tap the head. And for those wondering at home, yes, the shields are bugged. These players do have shields. It just doesn't show up on the spectator client for some odd reason. I'm not really sure why that's the case. But they do have shields, okay? No one's buying the Vandals here with no armor. I trust, okay? We may be recreational players, but we're not that recreational. You can see the players amassing outside of B, and you can see the presence being taken, the space by 100 Dweebs. They're moving up A here, so they should know there's nobody here on this side of the map. I would like to see a B rotation, but the trademark being broken will cause at least a bit of a rotation here. You can see Souls trying to figure out where he's going to go, but the B, they seem to be doing this again. The door opening tells them a lot, and they're headed right towards B now.
But careful, because Ethan has been left here with the spike coming back through the door. It was a little bit of a fake rotate to draw some of that attention towards B, and it has managed to do just that. Ethan, with a spray through the smoke, finds one. Chris Slayer finding a second onto his mirror of souls. Ferris gunning down Yogan. Shinfu as well, putting just to bed, finally taking down that club that has been such a nuisance for the side of Gen Z, and it's all up to Tricks. And at this point, even though he has been very clutch, finds one, isn't able to find the second, I think we can safely call it 6-9 for Gen Z. Looking very nice for both teams, and Gen Z could mount a possible comeback here. Their buy is looking a little bit weak, right? With Chris Slayer not buying, oh no, does buy those shield, even though it's a light shield. Having to buy that light shield, and Shinfu still being on that Spectre, even though he has plenty of money, right? I think, unless that's another bug, I think he has 4,000 credits, so he should have been able to buy Chris Slayer very comfortably. Oh, no, instead opts to buy that Odin, which can do a lot of work on this map, right? Especially in that line up A. Instead, though, we will see 100 Dweebs come in with a very aggressive overcharge, but Yogan isn't able to find any value. Shinfu goes out blazing with that Odin Jazz, though, flying him down a little bit. And yeah, very explosive round.
Everybody. Souls hurt everybody. They know this is coming here. Souls hurt everybody. The flank is coming in, and we're going to see if they can do something here in time. I think Souls is waiting here because there is a trademark to watch, but yeah, Tron has evacuated the site. They're going to go for a retake here. There is actually a gap in the smoke. And he's gonna, oh, he waited until it was disabled. I guess there's an audio cue, and Ethan is gonna get that spike down. So, you know, they're gonna be falling back. I think they have an idea that there's gonna be someone in the back. And yeah, Soul's gonna find Addison. So there goes one. Ethan very low here, trying to find something, is gonna go down as well. It's gonna be Chris and Ferris. I will say that. And well, actually, there's nobody left. Everybody goes down. A big retake from Dweebs as they find everything, and they're gonna make it now in the double digits.
Yeah, and what a way to reassert their dominance for 100 reads, right? From a round that looked almost lost after they lost that initial duel with Yoga and losing that overcharge from the Neon without getting any values of speak of, right? Because I don't think he even hit any damage.
Got nothing out of that.
Yeah, not even
maybe
damage.
did some damage, but I don't think Yogan was expecting to go around the corner into 3 players.
Yeah.
Stunned as they be, there was 3 players.
Or if he was expecting all of them to be stunned, but I think he just missed the stun for those players playing a little closer to the wall, right? Because I think the standard throw hits both corners of that A lobby, but I think this time he just managed to just miss it just by an inch, which happens all the time, but I think that was the inch that gave him a start. But the rest of his team was able to capitalize up on that information that was gained by taking all that space from his teammates, so his death wasn't in vain. Tron, though, will find Shinfu's ultimate, you know, that run it back from Phoenix, being put away. Souls in a very awkward position. Just will be the first to open this round, finding a Chris. And Ferris just managing to find Souls, just walking through Ferris with a double on this round. Even though, hold on, this could be getting hot. Tries to pull up the Joe Slapper, but Tron will shut it downstairs with a third on the round. But that Clover has that ultimate. Finally shuts down the Omen that has been causing chaos on the rest of the team. But just full health, pushes very aggressively. Third for herself as well. Takes out Shinfu. Spike still down. Has to defuse it. Is not aware of the position from Addison, who's managed to find another one of those incredible flanks that they always manage to find, and takes out that Clove, putting round number 7 for Gen Z and giving me a little bit of hope for this comeback.
Yeah, I mean, Jess doing a great job. Is currently top of the leaderboard as well, actually, at 18 and 12. Found 2 kills there and just not able to find the third. Souls is going to pick up the operator for the first time, and so is Chris. He's going to glass cannon op this one, it looks like. So, you know, the op and the peaks, we're going to see who's got the quicker trigger finger here, as I do believe they might be... No, they're not going to meet up, because you can see Chris headed towards A, and you're going to see Souls over towards C here. So initially, you're going to not spot much here. The Yogun's going to go in. That teleport comes in as well, as there's going to be just spinning everywhere, and oh, that is a kill there. The Spectre upgraded to an operator for sure. That must be wild, actually, on a Neon. You're going to see the spam come through. Chinfu's going to find one. Trick will go down. They're in towards B. And you're going to see the op shot is going to miss there, too. So, yeah, I mean, Yogun, I don't actually know where that Phantom came from. Maybe switched weapons or something, but that is going to be a big kill. Ethan, though, will find Souls. Tron's going to find Ethan, though, and Yogun's going to find Addison. It's going to lead Ferris, who's very, very weak now in a 1v3. Not long for the world. Gets spammed down. Yogun with 4. That is a big round there from the side of 100 Dweebs. I don't know if they saved the operator, but that is big for them as they make it. They're only 2 rounds away now.
And Yogan yet again finding that impact, right? He let us mock him a little bit for missing that overcharge there onto a lobby, but he was like, enough, I'll do this myself. Close out the 4K on that round, taking out that operator from Chris Slayer, which I think was a little bit of a fumble from Gen Z, right? When you have an operator and you're playing such an open line as that A robot control area, you want to have a little bit of backup, and Souls seeing a little bit of match behavior from his mirror will lose that operator instantly at the beginning of the round. Be careful, because Ferris is not alone, has Yogan in the position, but all the noise is coming in through that seaside as Gen Z will completely take it. Tron with a couple of spam, even though he was blinded by that curveball from Shinfu, will manage to find the kill. Yogan killing Ethan, who's playing a little bit too aggressive, no backup from his teammates. Yogan with the slides are coming in hot, decimating Addison, but finally being put to sleep to Chris.
It's not planning for
who's
them.
left with the 4-4s, and yep, like you mentioned, it's not planning for them at all. Oh my god. Chris
that is one finished.
Yeah, almost finding his signature 4K, but not enough after the spike is defused. And 12 for 100 Reeves, and I think we can finally say that 100 Reeves are ready to close out map number 3. 12-7. We might just see the beginning of the end as Gen.Z can't even fathom a full buy.
That's a good spot.
I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just not a good buy coming out of them here. It's not going to be good, and it's match point. And then again, Gen.Z has definitely made this work before. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen it here. So we're going to see where they decide to take this, and you can see this push is coming in towards A. The trademark has gone off, though, and Souls is going to get an easy pick there. Finds 1 for 1, but gets picked, actually. Chris Slayer there is able to trade it back. The run it back is invested by Chinfu. You know, nothing left really to save it for at this point. And I think might have spotted a gun barrel at the end, so they know the players are back there, but the space has been created. Yogan's going to be retreating to the back here and does have that ultimate available if needed, but Chris is going to find Trick over towards B. Not sure why either player is over there, but there's a big pick, and now 100 Dweebs in a 3v4 situation, and Gen.Z is going to start getting some weapon upgrades here as well.
Casper's Mabu coming in as Addison finds one, but hold on, Yogan. He's not ready to let go quite just yet, and yet again, Yogan with these impact rounds coming in with a triple, and that will crown 100 Reeves.